James Gunn's DC Universe is no longer just an idea, it's officially underway.
Whoa!
After years of inconsistency, creative confusion, and box office disappointments, DC Studios is pressing the reset button with a brand new cinematic roadmap. Unlike the previous regime, Gunn and Peter Safran aren't chasing only massive blockbusters. They are building a balanced slate that includes billion-dollar tentpoles, mid-budget superhero films, and even experimental genre projects. But not all DC movies are created equal. Some are nearly guaranteed box office powerhouses, while others face serious uncertainty, or may never hit theaters at all. Today, we're ranking all 12 upcoming DC movies announced under James Gunn's DCU based purely on box office potential, taking into account brand strength, audience interest, development status, and market trends. 1. The Batman Part 2. Estimated box office, $750 million to $1 billion. When it comes to DC, one character reigns supreme, Batman. For more than 3 decades, Batman has been Warner Bros.' most reliable box office engine. Matt Reeves' The Batman proved this once again in 2022, pulling in over $772 million worldwide, despite its dark tone, long runtime, and pandemic-era release conditions. The Batman Part 2 benefits from strong goodwill from the first film, a dedicated fanbase invested in Robert Pattinson's version, a long gap that has built anticipation, the prestige of Matt Reeves' grounded, noir-inspired vision. If word of mouth is strong and marketing hits the right balance between spectacle and storytelling, this could realistically push DC back into billion-dollar territory for the first time since The Dark Knight Rises. 2. The Brave and the Bold. Estimated box office, $600 million to $900 million. This is the DCU's main Batman, and potentially one of its biggest risks. Unlike The Batman Part 2, this film exists inside the shared DC universe and introduces a new take on Bruce Wayne alongside his son, Damian Wayne. The problem? No release date. No finished script. No casting. No confirmed story direction. The biggest challenge will be audience confusion. Running 2 Batman in 2 universes simultaneously is unprecedented. If DC communicates this clearly and delivers a compelling story, the box office could soar. If not, it could split audiences. 3. Man of Tomorrow. Estimated box office, $600 million to $800 million. This film represents a critical moment for the DCU. As the first true sequel in the new universe, Man of Tomorrow isn't just another Superman movie, it's a test of whether audiences trust James Gunn's long-term vision. The introduction of Brainiac, one of Superman's most iconic villains, raises the stakes significantly. With Gunn writing and directing once again, consistency in tone and storytelling should help the sequel outperform its predecessor. However, Superman's historical struggle overseas may limit its absolute ceiling. Still, a strong domestic run and improved global reception could easily land this film in the upper-tier success category. 4. Wonder Woman Reboot. Estimated box office, $500 million to $800 million. Wonder Woman remains one of DC's most powerful brands. The 2017 film grossed over $822 million, becoming a cultural moment and one of DC's biggest modern successes. While the reboot faces pressure to live up to that legacy, the character's popularity ensures strong baseline interest. Much will depend on casting, script quality, how different this version feels from Gal Gadot's portrayal. If positioned correctly, Wonder Woman could easily reclaim her place as a box office heavyweight. 5. Teen Titans. Estimated box office, $400 million to $600 million. Teen Titans is one of the most potentially massive projects, and also one of the least certain. The franchise benefits from nostalgia for the animated series, strong youth appeal, natural crossover opportunities with Batman characters. However, the lack of a completed script and shifting creative priorities make its future unclear. If everything aligns, Teen Titans could become a surprise hit. If not, it risks remaining stuck in development limbo. 6. Supergirl. Estimated box office, $475 million to $525 million. Supergirl is positioned as a supporting pillar of the DCU rather than a central anchor. With Millie Alcock stepping into the role and strong comic inspiration behind the story, the film has respectable box office upside. While it likely won't reach Superman-level numbers, it could establish Supergirl as a long-term fan favorite. 7. Bane and Deathstroke. Estimated box office: $300 million to $500 million. Villain-led superhero films are risky, but also intriguing. Bane and Deathstroke are two of Batman's most recognizable enemies, and pairing them together gives DC a chance to explore darker, morally complex storytelling. If tied closely to Gotham and marketed as a gritty, action-heavy spectacle, this film could exceed expectations. 8. Dynamic Duo. Estimated box office: $200 million to $300 million. This animated Robin-focused project is stylistically ambitious. Its success depends heavily on visual innovation, accessibility for non-hardcore fans, Batman's level of involvement. While unlikely to be a massive hit, it could perform well relative to its budget and strengthen DC's animated reputation. 9. The Authority. Estimated box office: $250 million to $350 million. Once considered a bold statement piece for the DCU, The Authority now seems stalled. Without momentum or clarity, its commercial prospects look increasingly weak, and the project may never move forward. 10. Clayface. Estimated box office: $200 million to $250 million. Clayface represents Gunn's most daring experiment. With a low budget and R-rated horror focus, the film doesn't need blockbuster numbers to succeed. If it connects with horror audiences, it could become one of DC's most profitable projects relative to cost. 11. Swamp Thing. Estimated box office: $100 million to $200 million. Despite strong creative potential, Swamp Thing lacks momentum. Delays and uncertainty have cooled interest, making its box office outlook modest at best. 12. Sergeant Rock. Estimated box office: $115 million to $175 million. Currently the weakest contender on the slate. Creative turnover, unclear direction, and limited mainstream appeal make this film the most vulnerable to cancellation, and the least likely to succeed commercially. James Gunn's DCU slate isn't about chasing Marvel, it's about rebuilding trust. While Batman and Superman will carry the financial load, experimental projects like Clayface and Dynamic Duo show that DC is finally willing to take creative risks again. The real question is, will audiences reward that ambition? Let us know which DC movie you think will dominate the box office, and which one might surprise everyone. Whoa! For more deep dives, rankings, and movie universe breakdowns, subscribe to Screen Breakdown.